Today, my fellow adventurers, we are going to learn a little about tree spawning, or more importantly, how they can grow and how they won't, especially these double wide spruce trees. And you are having trouble getting them to grow, especially in certain situations. And today, my plan is to show exactly what's going on so that you get a better understanding of how these work. Let's see how if I can show you a little of what I mean. So most trees, I'll plant a few down right over here. Most trees are just one sapling. I know there's even more than this, but this gives you a rough idea. And most of them, when they grow, will grow just fine. However, some will not. You have two different trees that I know of that need 4 spaces, and that is the dark oak and pale oak. Without 4, you won't be able to grow it. So if you're buying them from a wandering trader, make sure you get 4. It's expensive. It will cost you 20 emeralds, most likely, but you're gonna want 4, or otherwise you're gonna have to go find more of them. All of them work fine except for the dark oak and the pale oak. Those need to have a 4x4 space like so. And then you can grow the tree. Same with the pale oak, and then you can grow your tree. Now, if you would like to get these taller trees, some of them will work. That can also be put in a 4x4 pattern, specifically the spruce and the jungle, and you get a much larger tree. As you can see, these two trees can go up to about 30 blocks tall, both of them. This one, we just got a short one this time, but they can go taller. And notice how they're both significantly taller with much more wood than their one sapling counterparts, which means that if you have 4 of jungle or spruce and you're trying to get lots of wood, you want to put them in a 2x2 pattern, such as this. Now, this is where some of you probably are getting stuck trying to get your trees grown. Let's just say that you have a nice little area for them and you're trying to make it all grow, okay? You have your little area and you're trying to make them all grow, but now they just don't. Well, I'm gonna show you what's happening. I figured out a solution. As you can see, I did some testing earlier and I found the source of the problem. Does not grow. Absolutely does. It does not, and it does. So you can actually have your entire surroundings for your pale oak saplings and your dark oak saplings. However, if there is anything in the west or north side for a jungle or a spruce, as you can see, no matter how much bone meal we give it, it will not grow. They will not grow if anything is west of them or north of them or northwest. Pretty much this whole range. And that includes torches, it even includes grass, you'll see what I mean. It just includes literally anything. So like if I, have this area bone meal like so, it won't grow. But if I have a dark oak or pale oak or pretty much anything other than the jungle or spruce, as long as it's not too tall, apparently, it will grow just fine. Now, let's say you're making a nice tree farm and you're using spruce. If we were surrounding it like so, or more importantly, like our old little detailed area that we already have, again, it will not grow. And it's because this torch right here, it's just northwest torch, just like I was talking about. So this torch is not in line with the tree, so it doesn't count it as to the west of it. It counts it to the southwest, but it doesn't care. So anything, literally these spaces, these 5 spaces will not let that tree grow. It doesn't matter which one it is. You can have it be any of them. It will not let that tree grow. But as soon as I take away all 5, it grows instantly. And notice the other torches are still there. It's only that spot. Those 5 spots, northwest, northwest. And it's only apparently for spruce and your jungle. Now, something I've been meaning to test, so we're gonna learn this together, is what happens if I have something really tall, but it's 2 blocks away? Does that affect it in any way? The answer is definitely a yes. So now it's a matter of how tall can it be? And it's probably shorter on this side because we might still be able to make trees happen in the first place. Ooh, hello. So it looks like if it's a diagonal outward, it can only be 1 block tall. So you get nothing in this spot and it can be 1 block there. Now here's the real question. What about this one? So now let's try that 30 up. Oh, try 25 up and nothing there and 1 there because that's, I think, all I can do. So no, it just goes right through this back one. So it has no effect. It might get rid of some of its leaves. That's about it. So that's unfortunate that you can't force it to be taller. I was hoping that we can always get them like this tall. Notice how you really can make them pretty tall, but it's just random apparently. I would love to know in the comments if you can figure out a way to force them to be tall. But this is what I got. So this is, by the way, this one is 28 blocks tall, which is important because if you are making a ladder system or a bubble elevator that goes up to the roof or any other means that you know how to get to the top, you want it to be at least roughly 28 blocks. So there you go. Out of all of these trees, we have a few that are 28. And it looks like 29 is the magic number, which is great for our live world. So it means I can maybe shorten it down just a little bit because we're always having to jump down on the trees. And it would be nice to actually be right around here. So we can just dig up the little bit that's here if whenever a tree is that tall and we don't have to jump so far down. I think a good height is actually about 24 because we can easily get those couple of pieces whenever there is a taller one. So 24 blocks for your bubble elevator and then your little pathway if you're doing it like my live stream, and of course whatever other methods that you want. If you want your double wide trees to grow, this one was also 29. That's funny. Make sure for your spruce in your jungle there's nothing directly adjacent in the west or north coordinates. And if you are unsure of how to find north and west, well then check out my ultimate navigation guide linked in the description and you'll never get lost again. And also, if you would like to have another video where you might learn something new, check out this video right here. All right, my fellow adventurers, I've hoped that you've enjoyed. This has been RedStoneBreeze, and I will see you next time. Bye.